The flooding along the Mississippi River has been in the news for weeks, with extraordinary measures needed to keep some cities from record crests. 2 weeks ago, a levee near Cairo, Illinois, was deliberately blasted to save the town, but at the expense of inundating 130,000 acres of sparsely populated farmland in Missouri. Farther downstream on the Mississippi, water is also being diverted in a big way, in large part involving a river you probably never heard of. Right where the Mississippi enters Louisiana, about 30% of its water detours into the Atchafalaya River, a distributary of the Mississippi that winds almost due south before emptying into the Gulf of Mexico. If nature had its way, most of the Mississippi's water, and over time nearly all of it, would follow the Atchafalaya because that route to the Gulf is twice as steep and much shorter than the Mississippi. If that happened, cities such as Baton Rouge and New Orleans would be deprived of their source of fresh water, not to mention the hundreds of millions of dollars per day in shipping that goes up and down the river. Mark Twain, who captained a Mississippi riverboat for many years, wrote of the mighty waterway that 10,000 river commissions cannot tame that lawless stream, cannot define it, cannot say to it, go here or go there. Well, what Twain thought impossible, man has engineered for almost 50 years. Near where the Atchafalaya branches from the Mississippi rises a billion-dollar floodgate system known as the Old River Control Structure, or ORCS. Completed in 1963 by the Army Corps of Engineers, this complex of steel and concrete prevents the main flow of the Mississippi from naturally taking the easier way to the Gulf via the Atchafalaya. Over the next week, this structure will get its sternest test yet, as one of the greatest pushes of water on record on the Mississippi spreads south into Louisiana. Other flood control measures are already being used in northern Louisiana to take some stress off the ORCS and to lower the risk of major flooding in Baton Rouge and New Orleans. Last Saturday, for the first time since 1973, the Army Corps opened floodgates on the Morganza spillway, which lies between the ORCS and Baton Rouge, diverting thousands of cubic feet of water per second from the Mississippi into the Atchafalaya River Basin. Ultimately, this will flood about 3 million acres of rural Louisiana, the areas shown in color here. Now, the record push of water down the Mississippi is the result of the melting of last winter's very deep snowpack in the upper Midwest, coupled with heavy rains over the last month in the mid-Mississippi and lower Ohio River valleys. The areas in green here have received more than 10 inches since mid-April, with more than 20 inches at Cape Girardeau and Poplar Bluff, Missouri, and Paducah, Kentucky. Paul Knight will tell us whether any more rain is likely in this area and in our own backyard, next in the extended forecast.